Hey everyone, I'm DeAndre Branch. I'm the owner of SuperPlatonic clothing brand, and I was born and raised in Portsmouth, Virginia. I now reside in South Boston, Virginia. SuperPlatonic has now been in existence for 2.5 years. When I first started the clothing brand, COVID was just now starting too. So a lot of companies was like stopping their workers from being able to come to work. A lot of them was quitting. Some was shutting down for long periods of time, short periods of time. I was actually blessed that my job didn't do that. But I also had a conversation with my dad, and he was basically just telling me that I need to start something that's of my own, and something basically no one can take away from me. So I decided to start a clothing brand because I always loved clothes, and I just always loved to look my best. It took me about 2 days to figure out the name, but Platonic kind of dawned on me because basically I've never had beef with anybody. Like, I can get along with anybody from all walks of life. It don't matter their gender orientation, doesn't matter what color they are, doesn't matter what they believe in, anything of that nature. So Platonic is a non-intimate relationship. Basically just, you pretty much means you cool with anybody. So I just had to find an adjective that could really fit into the equation. So the first one I had came up was actually Platonic Future. And then the second one I came up was Super Platonic. So now you already know which one I came up with, which is Super Platonic. The first thing is just making sure you have the proper paperwork. So like you gotta file for the LLC for the state that you live in. And then after that, just make sure that the name that you come up with is something that's not already taken. And even if it is something that's already taken, it's already gonna let you know that it's taken already. So just try to find something, like find a name that is very unique to yourself, that basically nobody can take from you. This is actually a great question. Basically starting off, when I first started a clothing brand, a lot of brand ambassadors I have right now, they just message me through like Instagram and Facebook and just inquired about being one. A lot of them had high following counts or like they had high engagement, so it was honestly an easy choice to pick them as a brand ambassador. Now through time, I look through Instagram and Facebook and try to find somebody who I see that who else is somebody that has like high engagement throughout their posts, or somebody I can see that like really can dress. But mostly for the most part, they kind of just came to me, not really try to go get them. The most important part of my target market is definitely for my like plus size people. That's a big thing for me because my wife is plus size, and then I have other family members that's plus size. And not just family members either, friends, and then just customers. So like I want like people that's plus size to be able to shop with me and not have to be able to just complain about not being able to buy stuff that they see on the website. Like a lot of small clothing brands, you will not see sizes to go up to like probably like a 2X. After 2X, you won't be able to buy from most small clothing brands. And that's what I feel like kind of separates mine from most small clothing brands. I will also say that college kids is probably my second most important target market because they're that generation where they have like the high trending stuff that they do. And basically they, like say it's somebody that goes to like Virginia Tech or UVA. If they like a very popular person on campus, they might have one of my shirts on or a hoodie or anything. And somebody else on campus might see that and then they want to ask where they got it from. So now then that's another customer. And then that person might get asked the same question when they finally get some gear from me. So I feel like it's a chain effect, especially with like the college kids. Honestly, the easiest answer to this question is just going to Google. Unless you're gonna do it on your own, which actually is the most cheapest way to doing it, as long as you can afford the like embroidery machine or a screen press or heat press. But if you're not doing that, then the easiest thing to do is just go to Google and literally just type in manufacturers, clothing brand manufacturers, and you'll find something that's gonna pop up for you. Keeping track of your losses is very, very important. It helps you at the end of the year on your taxes. That's definitely for sure. The way that I do it, I use Google Sheets. You can even use Excel, they both do the same thing, but I use Google Sheets and I just use a spreadsheet, and basically, literally any expense that I use throughout the year, I don't care if it's $1 up to $1,000. Any expense that I done paid for, I log it into that log. And usually the way that's gonna work out, usually you don't have more losses than your income coming in. That's just the way it works, because you paying for inventory, you're paying for stock, you're just paying for a whole bunch of different things. So usually you're gonna always have more losses than the revenue that's coming in. Starting off, I would say it's not a good idea not to just have your logo somewhere that's like very noticeable on the product. The reason why I'm saying that is because you want to have your customers like get to know you, and they're not gonna be able to get to know you if they don't see a logo that differentiates you from another company. Elsewhere, they'll just buy from somewhere else. So I say starting off, I definitely say keep your logo somewhere that's very noticeable. Once you've been in business for a while, then you can branch out and like leave your logo just on a tag or anything like that. Staying motivated is not really that hard in my opinion, only because I keep it like trained in my brain that I'm gonna have bad days, I'm gonna have good days, I'm gonna have good weeks, I'm gonna have bad weeks, I'm gonna have good months, I'm gonna have bad months. So like I constantly tell myself that. And I already know that being in business 2.5 years, I already know that's how that's gonna go. So that's one part of just let myself stay motivated. Basically, I don't allow anything negative to really populate my mind in the first place. So me thinking negative isn't gonna make the business move any faster. It's not gonna make me gain any more customers. So I gotta think positive at all times. The biggest thing is just remembering why you started your business. If you can do that and dig deep when the times is hard, that'll help you stay motivated at all costs. Just try to think about all the positives in every situation that you go through. Especially when you first starting that business off. Cause it's gonna be some trying times, especially if you're in year one, where you don't feel like you're getting the support that you should get. It comes with it. Just know that it's a process, and pretty much everybody that has a business and had it for several years, they've dealt with it. But if they done been in business for several years, they now know what to do to overcome it. So just know that sometimes family and friends will not always be on board, but eventually they do get on board with you and shop with you. It's a process. But usually for the most part, strangers is really gonna get you rich. But outside of being rich, y'all go shop at SuperPlatonic. That's www.superplatonic.com. I'll leave it in the description box below. And don't y'all forget to like and subscribe to this video. Thanks for having me.